The King and Queen of France were on Long Island recently. Well, sort of. These are historical reenactors, part of the Kingdom of Acre medieval scenarios and recreations. The group held its first annual Chelsea Mansion Renaissance Faire in Muttontown last month. Jeff and Stacy Wasson from Belmore played the royal couple, portraying King Louis XIII and Queen Anne.
Well, we are having a marvelous day today. Today, the King has said that he would like a celebration for his birthday, and we are at one of his country estates, and the weather is beautiful. The King has hired some troubadour to roam and make music for the people. We have games, we have lovely country merchants to come with interesting things, jewels, herbs, nice scents, and lovely things to accessorize with. And of course there is all sorts of demonstration of manly and womanly sword fighting, and there'll be equestrian skills as well later. And a fashion show. It's a marvelous day. We are a group that is meant to educate the public, so we actually know a lot more about this time period and the people that we are portraying than we would actually walk up and talk to you about. And it's much more fun to learn this way by talking to someone than it is to open a book and read the dry facts. Yes, Anne of Austria came from France and she married Louis when she was like 2 years old, blah, 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 blah. But this way you get a little taste of what it's like to be at a country fair and speak to royalty and see the gallant musketeers and all sorts of things like that.
All for one and one for all! Every man for himself.
We are doing the Three Musketeers, and there is a lot of facts in the story. The key players are all real people: Louis XIII, Anne of Austria, Cardinal Richelieu, and so all of those key players are here today, and we're sort of putting on an entertainment to entertain people, but also to educate. We have a fashion show where we'll talk about clothing through history, what the nobility wore versus what peasants wore. We have different crafts going on here. We have the musketeers and the cardinal's men. There'll be different sword fighting going on. So it's a very good time. It's a way for history to kind of come alive and come off the pages. There's a living chess match, which I enjoy, where the participants have to fight for the square. That's a lot of fun. And then there is also there's an equestrian games of skill, where the riders will be on horseback using swords, lances, and spears, and that's also another of my favorite parts of the show.
John Marine played one of the villains in the Three Musketeers. He says it was really challenging having to sword fight while wearing an eye patch.
I am the Count de Rochefort, who is actually a very secondary character in the whole Three Musketeers saga thing. Basically, he's just an adherent to the Cardinal Richelieu. He's trying to tag onto his rising star at this point, and he's basically become the Cardinal's, as they refer to him, he's the Cardinal's living blade. I'm the Cardinal's assassin. I deal with messages and take care of problems. And I kind of tell the Cardinal's guards what to do. The depth perception problem is quite severe, actually. I've had to practice for months using this eye patch just to try and get it so that I can still fight the same way. I have to kind of use the force. I know when they throw it's over there, but I can't see it. So it's very difficult, actually. Plus, I normally wear glasses, so I'm like 3/4 blind.
And as you can see, the fighting isn't just for the guys. Cecily Trenka plays Milady de Winter, one of the main characters and a formidable sword fighter as well. She says Chelsea Mansion is quite a different venue from Sands Point Preserve, where the group holds its annual medieval fair in September.
Well, there's a lot of different things about it. First of all, this is based on the time period of like pre-revolutionary France, so we're talking about time of King Louis XIII, and it's all about the sword fighting here. In Sands Point Fair, there's an awful lot of other stuff going on, but for us, it's always been about as much steel fighting as we can do. So we took on the scenario of the Three Musketeers, and we actually had different people portraying major characters from the movie and from the book. The plotline is the year 1627, and Louis of France is throwing a birthday, or rather Cardinal Richelieu is throwing a birthday for Louis, and at the same time he's plotting to take over the throne. The Musketeers, who are loyal to the king, are trying to thwart that plot, and then you have the retainers of the Cardinal Richelieu, Rochefort, and I play De Winter, and we're trying to get England to side with Richelieu and overthrow France. So we're like running secret messages and fighting with the Musketeers, and it's fun being a bad guy.
I cannot see to the training of everyone.
Stop! Hold this.
Although they make it look easy and like a lot of fun, these reenactors say sword fighting is a serious skill which takes a lot of training and practice. They say their goal is to educate the public about history while entertaining them.
Basically, we've been around for 35 years or something like that. I've been involved for about 20. We put on medieval and Renaissance reenactments. We've done them in Connecticut, we've done them in New Jersey, we've done them out on Long Island. We have events for ourselves where we practice this, and we all practice in speaking forsoothly and developing our characters. We make most of our own costumes. A lot of the people make their own armor or their weapons. We invent ourselves in this fashion. We're kind of like the old style traveling troupe of Commedia dell'arte characters, where if you look at us, you know what they are. I've got the evil eye patch, and I'm wearing red, and so on. So, we develop that kind of thing. We're basically a strolling group of players. Most of us are teachers, so we actually can understand history. And we just have a lot of fun with this. That's really what it's all about. But we just love rebuilding this whole history. It's a beautiful place. It's perfect for what we're doing here. We got to line the tents up along the trees. We have a wide open field in the front. We have the backdrop of the Chelsea Mansion behind us, which is perfect for this. That's a 17th century French chateau, which is almost literally perfect. So we're kind of pretending we're outside Paris somewhere at one of Louis's chateaus, and we're having a birthday party. It's a beautiful place. They're very accommodating. Nassau County has been great with us at this. They provided us with a lot of support. They let us do pretty much whatever we needed to do, and so far it's been a great relationship out here. We try and stay relatively accurate. Again, we have to play certain games with the scenarios to try and make the time. We also can't be as complicated as real history. We have to be a lot simpler. So we're using all of the actual honest-to-goodness characters, but you also have to remember we're recreating a work of fiction. So, but if you ask just about any one of us on the field, and you'll get a history lesson. You ask someone about this type of sword, they'll suddenly start talking about they had this kind of sword with this kind of hilt and this kind of blades, and this is how they would fight in the right styles, and this is the way they would wear the shirt, and so on. We're all good at that kind of stuff. We actually primarily have a great time talking to the public. We love educating the public. That's what we're really all about. It's trying to recreate. See, we're not doing this as a reenact. We're not trying to reenact history. We're trying to recreate history. If you go to the Civil War battles or something, they're actually doing what actually physically happened. We're trying to recreate a period and give you that feel of what it would be like. And we try and educate you as to what we're actually doing.
I go tired of this. Come on, girl, let's end it.
For more information about the group, you can check out their website at www.kingdomofacre.org. And fair organizers say the next event for the Kingdom of Acre will be their annual medieval fair in Sands Point. In Muttontown, Collora reporting.